We are back at it again today. Thank you guys. I want to thank everybody who participated in the turbo giveaway. We went live yesterday. If you guys haven't seen, check it out. I did a live video. It's named announcing the turbo giveaway winners, and there was actually 2 winners. You'll have to go to live stream to see why, get all that figured out. We have got to get ready to head to the SHITBOX No Prep race in Coburn, Virginia, Twin River Raceway, coming up this weekend, 24th, 25th, the whole deal. I know that I've got some buddies down the way that are getting ready to head to the race. I want to go check them out, help them out, bring the car over. We were supposed to be working on getting the front end mounted, which we might still do. I'm not sure. There's just a couple other things on the to-do list that have to get checked out on the Camaro. We're going to start working on those things first. It's got to be priority. The thing's got to be able to race, or at least test and tune. It's got to be able to run and drive well and all that kind of stuff before we worry about putting the front end on. Front end does us no good if it's just going to sit there on the sidelines. One of the guys, my friend Brandon, is actually putting his truck back together. He's been working on it. You guys remember when we went out street racing with the Nova a couple weeks ago, and I showed you guys a little video clip. He actually blew his engine. Well, funny little story. See, Brandon has a GT45 turbo on his truck. He's got an S10 with LS swapped S10 with a GT45 on it. And I may or may not happen to have an extra GT45. When I talked to the good folks at Max Speeding Rods, I said, hey, if you guys can send me one for the giveaway and then send me another one because there's something special I'd like to do with it. See, I knew that Brandon was going to be putting his truck back together, and him and his family, the folks over at DNS, have been helping me out a long time. They're always down to come out when I'm testing and lend a hand, and just generally always helping me out, doing everything they can. So I feel like it's only right. I've got an opportunity here. We're going to go ahead and bring this turbo to Brandon so he can have an upgraded turbo. He knows nothing about it. So I think it's going to be pretty fun today. We're going to hook my friend up with a free turbo and hopefully help him get it onto his truck, get it together. And it should make a little more power than the last one, because the last one was just a regular GT45. This is the billet wheel deal. So let's head over to the shop. Let's start working on my car. I'm not going to give him that turbo until he's about ready to bolt a turbo onto his truck. So we're going to go motivate him. We're going to go poke him a little bit to get his stuff together, because I think he wants to bring that this weekend. Justin wants to bring his Mustang. They got another Mustang over there. They're bringing like 3-4 cars just themselves. So let's go over there, get a game plan together, help everybody out, everybody work with everyone, and go from there so we can go racing this weekend. Explain to us what you're doing, Brandon.
Trying to get one of these LS to run again.
Trying to get it to run again, huh?
Trying to get it to run again.
You got the truck out there.
Way too long.
Yep.
Right.
I like it. I like it though. Flat top, little 4.8 deal. Okay, so we're gonna spin the hell out of that one. Well, we made it over to DNS Fab and the service center on the other side. You guys saw we were there last time, putting the wheels on, and we're gonna go ahead. I've got the Camaro over here. Surprise, surprise, I also have the front end with me. Like I said, I don't know that we're gonna get to it just quite yet, exactly right away, blah blah blah. What?
Like and subscribe down below.
Go ahead, tell the good people.
We're getting 1 million.
We're getting 1 million?
Yes.
All right, we're getting 1 million followers, he says, 1 million subscribers. But we're gonna see what we can do to get this Camaro back together, running properly. There was a lot of trans fluid on the trailer that I wasn't happy about. So first things first is gonna be addressing whatever is going on with the trans and why it's leaking so much, figuring all that out. So let's get this thing in here and start getting to it. Are they the most, the look on your face, you were so confused.
I'm not using fancy shit like this for my life, you know?
Stick it in there.
Just throw it in there, right?
Just throw it in there. It'll be alright. Put some lube on her. Should be good. We got the car up on the lift. First things first that I noticed, this tail shaft housing here has exited stage left. There's the tail shaft seal on the trans here is just leaking all over the place. That's where the big pile of trans fluid is coming from on the trailer and everything else. So we're gonna go ahead. I was able to get another one of those ordered up. And on the front, we've still got a little bit between here and the bell housing. So what I'm gonna do is there's some areas here where it looks a little close on the side of the trans. We're gonna trim that up, and I'm gonna go ahead, and I can actually reach these bolts right in here. I'm gonna tighten that up and maybe even throw some Permatex around it, everything, just to make sure everything's good. But I think majority of our leak is coming from that tail shaft seal, that output shaft seal. So I've got it draining right now into a clean deal here. I got the time lapse going too. I got it draining into a clean deal here, so that way I can reuse any fluid if I need to. Also not making a giant mess. This thing's about almost drained, so I'm gonna pop this seal out, put the new one in. Should be good to rock. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that, how milky that is. We're doing I'm gonna go ahead and do an oil change. One of the things that we found is we're having O2 sensor problems where I think it's just the O2 sensor placement is not good. We're ruining O2 sensors way too quick. You know, I understand D85, the moisture and all that. I think the O2 sensor placement is just no good. So we've got a different O2 sensor in. It started running better immediately, but we noticed that the fuel is way in the oil. And I think it's because we keep ruining the O2 sensor, so the O2 sensor keeps telling the computer to dump fuel when it doesn't need to. I'm gonna go ahead and change this oil, and then I brought the stainless weld-in bungs from SHITBOX Supply. We're gonna go ahead and move that O2 sensor today. It may not be in the best spot. I wanna redo the exhaust. We're not gonna be able to do that just yet. But if we can get the O2 sensor in a better spot, I think it's gonna alleviate this problem right here that we're having. It's time to pick a new O2 sensor placement. That looks like a good spot. Probably somewhere right about there, right? Yeah. Good news, Brandon has got his engine assembled and is getting ready to drop back in his truck. So while I let the engine cool down, my engine cool down a little more because that thing is spicy hot, let's go ahead and give him a hand getting this thing in there. reality, all we have to do is give it like 3 more pumps. Again,
This is his first motor assembly, rebuild, whatever you want to call it.
100% by yourself.
100%.
Damn. So do you think it's gonna run?
It might run. I don't know how long.
It might run. You think it's gonna need a little help running?
We was keeping an eye on it.
Well, since this is your first motor build, I got a little surprise for you.
What the hell is that? Go turbo?
I got you a new turbo.
Really?
Yeah.
One of the billet ones?
One of the billet ones with the gold wheel, dude!
Gold wheel.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, let's open it up.
Don't tell me you still got that razor blade.
It's over there.
I got a knife.
Oh, you got one?
Let's open this bad boy up. I'm here trying to get raffles and shit, you know?
He felt bad because you spent like $1,000 on raffles in the past.
You can't never win, nothing. I'm gonna have to steal a part of it, though, but that's on you.
What do you need?
That plastic cover fits perfectly on my turbos, and I ain't got a front end.
Oh, yeah,
So I'm gonna have to take that plastic.
What, the turbo guard?
Yeah.
I got 2 of them
Take
right
that.
there.
We got turbo guard. Turbo guard.
I use them, yeah. I use them for when you're traveling.
Yeah.
On the other side.
Yeah, that's heavy.
That thing's big.
I was gonna say it's on the wheel.
You're gonna need a knife again to cut that.
Everything's the same on it?
Yeah,
As far as-
it's a GT45, same thing, T4 flange. It's just a billet wheel upgrade,
I want to see the gold wheel.
so it should.
This one run already sports faster than a fucking Nitrous one.
Well, it should make more power on less boost, essentially.
Fuck yeah, thank you, man. Alright, that's what it's all.
Oh, hey, cheap.
No, cheap. Now I can put another one on myself.
No, don't be doing it. Like I said, they mismatch.
Yeah, right.
You got one gold, one
Yeah,
not. Yeah, I need that. I'm taking that.
Oh, fuck!
So I get the old one back, right?
Woo,
You
wee!
can add another to yours.
Yes.
It's a new day. We've gotten a lot done, and we are one step away, I think, from this car being able to drive and possibly test again. The dipstick tube here, this factory LS dipstick tube, I guess they got a problem with vibration or something right here where they had welded previously. It ends up breaking right there, and that's where the oil was coming out of. Easy fix. I think what we're just gonna do is clean this one up. Justin's on the welder over there already welding something else up, so I'll clean this up, get him to throw a bead around there, and that should fix us up. Hopefully stop the oil leak. Nice easy fix, and then we can get started on the front end. I'm getting really frustrated and pissed off, and this is the reason the front end was not on the car to begin with. This thing is so far off. Now here, I'm starting to mess up the door, which I'm upset about because now that's gonna have to be repainted. And this thing is so far off here, it needs to be back, and it's not going to with the door. And this was just cut and welded in, and I was just trying to sit it in place so that way I can get an idea of, okay, can we cut it and trim it and all this kind of stuff. But right now it's really just frustrating me more than anything, because the only really way to do this is to take it off the car, cut everything off, set it back on the car, set it back in place, recut, re-weld, everything. Right?
And just mount this.
Right, mount this.
And then bring the whole front end to it.
And then cut this piece out again and redo this whole thing. Which means these little holes for the Zeus fasteners ain't gonna work. I don't know. I think for shits and giggles, we should just go grab the fiberglass front end and just set it, because it's here, it's in storage, you know what I mean? I think maybe we should do that just to see how it looks. It's the wrong year and everything. I don't think the front end looks as good as this one. Well, we went and got the fiberglass front end and just kind of set it on to see what it would look like. I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not the right year, but I really kind of dig the way that one looks. And then going back and forth on what needs to be done to this one, what needs to be done to that one, how we would make it all work. They're both going to be a bunch of work. It's not going to matter which one we do. It's going to take, you know, a bunch of work. So I think we're going to skip out on using the fiberglass one just because this one here has already been on the car. So it's going to save us a little bit of work. I don't think a ton, but a little bit is going to be saved here. And metal is a little easier to work with than fiberglass because we can cut, weld, grind, do all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get started. Dwayne just handed me a bunch of tools. He went over the game plan. Reason, like I said, the reason we came here to do this part is because Dwayne and them are going to show me, and, you know, tell me like, hey, I would do this, 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 and this, because I have some ideas, but they're really more body guys. So I think it'll come out a little bit better. I'll have a little bit better insight on getting it done. So I'm gonna drag this thing. I think I'm gonna take this thing outside to grind it down. Just get up kind of out of the way because we got packed house right now. And then I'm gonna cut these ends off that were welded on. I'm gonna sand those down, get it a little smoother, then cut the tack welds, cut both of it, re-put the front end on, and then we're gonna try to refit this section where it's supposed to be with those doors and everything else.
You know that Ryan kid?
Get the sauce on it. Yeah.
That Ryan kid? He's alright. He's a good dude. What's that?
Oh, you still grinding? You doing something to clean it up? I'll try to clean up with the welder. There we go. You hear that? You hear it clean up that white paint?
inch.
Right.
You ain't gonna probably find it. You're gonna get an inch wrench in there.
I think it fits about as good as it did before.
Kinda gotta leave it loose.
So, I'm gonna let you tighten it.
But we got a hood. We don't necessarily need the hood, but we got a hood. Now this thing is like complete race car, almost. We still got a little bit. We still got a little bit more to do over here on this side, and then we got to take it out, clean it out, wash it. Maybe see if we got some spray paint left over at the house. Spray paint this, kind of make it match again. Maybe we won't. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. But we're about ready to go racing, boys. If Brandon would get his truck fired up.
Almost there.
Dang. Any day now, we'll be ready to go racing.
Natural habitat.
But you gotta set it the cubic inch in the computer and all that shit.
Because if you don't,
How
then
do you know the cubic inch? It's 294 or something.
yeah, it's
All cubic inch out. It should be pretty, somewhat, kind of close. I'll change the turbo too, probably like those things.
fuel exchange on. Yeah, because it's different cubic inches. Got it in there. Ooh, we are all wrapped up on the body work. Ryan did a killer job on this. He was getting a little OJT, a little on-the-job training today. Got it figured out. No, I don't know how to do this shit, so it's not yet. I was teaching him, but he was getting some good advice. Look, it's a race car. It's not going to be the most perfect thing in the world, but this looks way better than it did. And now the door's actually open. You know, we can. Before I couldn't open the doors. You know, now we can open the doors. This thing, the front end is on. We've got a front end. The hood still fits kind of about, you know, as good as it fit to begin with. So I'm really, really happy. I think we're going to take this thing outside, rinse it off, put it on a trans brake once or twice for the haters, and yeah, then it's time to go racing. We're ready. I never thought that a couple days before racing I'd be worried about body work. Usually I'm like trying to make the thing even run. You know, now we're running. We got a bunch of the issues sorted out. We got the O2 sensor moved. We got the trans stuff fixed up. I got some new transmission seals in there. You know, we identified some other little problems. It's going to be future issues, but you know, we'll get to it. And I think we're ready to rock and roll. Especially now we got this front end on. I still got to put the other headlight in and then wire them up, but that's not the end of the world. It's not going to take, you know, 17 years. So let's get this baby outside and cleaned up. Look at what she looks like in the sunset.
you guys did notice, I cut those really large bull horns off. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a real pain to get it on and off the trailer. You have to take them off every time because you have to be just right on it and everything. We don't need a bullhorn that sticks out to here. It's just unnecessary. So I went ahead and shortened those up. But now we'll rinse this bad boy off and then go ahead and take it home. Maybe start working on figuring out getting it painted. If not, maybe we'll get it painted before the race, maybe not. Oh, I gotta put them covers on the turbos so I don't get no water in them. But this project here is about wrapped up. All right, we got it up on the trailer. We're gonna take it home, do what we gotta do. Next time you guys are gonna see me, we're gonna be in Coburn, Virginia, Twin River Raceway, the Friday and Saturday, 24th, 25th, for SHITBOX No Prep. I'm actually really excited because we've got Nick coming, he's gonna be filming, so we're actually gonna bring you guys the entire race coverage on the channel. Not something I've ever been able to do before, where I throw a race and actually have somebody to film for me so I can bring you guys the entire race. So next videos you guys are gonna see are probably gonna be that. If you guys are coming to Virginia, you're gonna see me in a Camaro. We're coming to town, it's gonna be awesome. Thanks as always for subscribing. Oh, yeah, what?
That's always a good sign.
I don't know how long this video is going to be because I know we filmed a lot of shit, but I feel like we can't end it just yet. Like now we got to go figure out what happened. So let's go find out what happened.
Just so you can see.
No, it just won't start. It's stupid. It's stupid.
What price sensor did you use?
Huh?
The one I was in it.
No, it's just stupid.
The one I was in the automotor.
No, it is.
It ain't that. It's something in the tune.
It's not hurt. It's
What? Yeah, it's something in the tune. It's not. It's the same thing as the other motor. So it's not. Huh? It's not the motor. No, it's a tune.
Just in case you guys were wondering, Holly likes power. Electric power, battery power, voltage greater than 9, and you will have this. A running, driving, vroom vroom turbo truck. As long as you have a charged battery.